Hey there, RC Girl here. Today we are taking a look at this new release from Axial. This is the AX24 XC-4 wheel steer. If you're an Axial OG, you might remember the AX10 Scorpion, one of the original releases in the rock crawler market that basically launched RC crawling into a thing. This is a nice microcrawler nod to that. This includes four-wheel steering out of the box. I believe that's the first offering in the microcrawler market, kind of cool. Many of the components are compatible with the SCX24. It comes with rock lights, it has really aggressive approach and departure angles, and it comes in at a really great price of $159.99. Today we're going to check it out, we're going to talk about all the features, and of course we're going to go outside and trail test it. It finally stopped raining here. I'm so excited to get outside in the sun. Let's check it out. If you're new here, my channel is all about inspiring people to grow in the remote control hobby. You'll see RC reviews, tips and tricks, run videos, flight videos, and other things related to RC. So if you don't want to miss future videos, make sure to like and subscribe. I am also aiming for one video a week, so more content coming your way. Stay tuned. Huge thank you as always to my growing community of patrons on Patreon. First off, who had an original AX10 Scorpion? If you did, shoot me a comment in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Quick backstory, Axial released the original AX10 in 2007. In the past, if you wanted to build a RC rock crawler, you really had to piece together different components from different chassis and build your own. The AX10 platform made it more accessible for folks and launched the RC rock crawling hobby. They are doing a really cool nod to that original release, the AX24. The microcrawler market is exploding. I'm calling this January for me microcrawler month. I've had quite a few of these sent my way. This is somewhat of a different option too. Compared to some of the other microcrawlers on the market, this is going to be more performance driven, so less about scale accessories. This is going to be all about rock crawling. So I'm excited to check it out. Let's take it away. This is going to be ready to run, comes with everything you need in the box. Alrighty, so let's take a look at this. It looks like here all bearings, so they're like, nope, we don't use any bushings, which is kind of cool. Of course, you're gonna get four-wheel steers, so servos on both of your axles. Taking a look here, here are some of the specs as far as the length and wheelbase. This is gonna be 135.5 millimeter wheelbase. Alrighty, so here's everything that comes in the box. You get your XC1 1/24 scale. So squishy, kinda neat. Look at all that flex, that's crazy. So much. It comes with an STL3 3-channel transmitter here, so you can reach the wheel with one-handed driving if you want. Here is our 3rd channel button. This is going to be what operates the four-wheel steering. We'll talk about this more detail in a second. We got our instructions pack here. Comes with batteries for your transmitter. You get some stickers, a little Allen wrench, and probably some good instructions in there. We got our USB charger here for our LiPo battery. All right, let's talk about this guy a little bit more. It has a Lexan body, true to the original Scorpion. Tiny little faux tail light stickers here and a tiny license plate. This is going to be a body that is made for performance, so you're gonna have lots of clearance there for your giant wheels and a lot of articulation, so making sure that there's no wheel rub there. It is held on by Velcro, so there's a little bit of Velcro on the front. And on the rear there. The rear mount here pivots a little bit, so honestly all you have to do is really take off the front if you want. Painted silver on the interior. Our windows are stickers, so no see-through windows. I doubt people are going to be like doing scale interiors for these, again more for performance driven. And the body slots in nicely into these twin side plates here. plastic molded twin side plate chassis. Look at this flex. Look how crazy this is. So much flex for this little guy. Taking a look at our wheels and tires here, these are actually also true to the original. These are Axial Rock Lizard tires on Axial Rockster wheels. So the tire compound is pretty nice and soft, no foams in there. These are also vented. These are glued on, so not a true beadlock. They have like this faux green beadlock ring. For the size of this truck, these are nice oversized wheels. Our suspension here, these shocks are super long. I'll have to put the specs on the screen. Pretty small bodied shocks. You can see a little bit of flex in the shaft there. Not too much for them. Really soft springs, so this is gonna be really soft suspension. Kind of sit pretty low in the travel already, but nice and flexible. Looking at the bottom of the chassis here, it is a 4-link suspension. There's also a little limiter there on the bottom of the shock. These are going to be plastic bodied shocks. I don't think there's oil in them, but I will have to check. Our axles, so on a 4-wheel steer rig, you basically get 2 front axles. These are going to be straight axles, so no portals, all plastic molded. Taking a look in our diff box here, there's actually 6 screws holding it on. And all the hardware on this is hex, which is pretty nice. Little tiny hex though, so I have to use this Allen wrench. This is the 1mm Allen provided. And as stated on the box, we got a ball bearing, we got metal gears in here. We're going to add some Udder Butter grease from Cow RC. I would definitely suggest a better tool than this. I'm pretty sure that I stripped out like all 6 of these using this thing. It comes with 2 AS1 servos. These are going to be axle mounted servos. So instead of mounted to the chassis, they're mounted to our axles. Plastic steering links as well. Whoa, this is a really fast servo. Kind of neat. Our chassis has these 2 plastic side plates here and a flat skid on the bottom. All right, let's take a look under the hood. Our ESC receiver is a Spectrum 2-in-1 10 amp ESC receiver combo. Looks like our battery plugs in there in the red port. There is an on and off switch. I always like to remind people, don't keep your batteries plugged in. Always unplug those, it can damage your lipos. Here we have our receiver antenna. Just make sure that that doesn't get crimped or crunched or bent or anything. This is a 3-channel receiver, so in your first channel is your front steering, your second channel is your throttle or your motor, and your third channel is going to be linked to the rear steer. It should be bound from the factory, but there is also a port for bind and reverse. I'm not sure what reverse does. We'll have to take a look at that. There's also a little pin here. You can move between forward braking or forward braking reverse modes. Taking a look at our motor here, this is going to be a brushed motor, 190 size 88 turn motor. Our shock tower is kind of an interesting way that they mount. There's these 2 brackets on each side. You can see our LED rock lights here. There's 2 on each side. Neat that it comes stock with some lighting. This is a 2S compatible rig. To access our battery, you can see it here. There's a little body pin with a pull tab here. We're gonna pull that, and then you can open a little hatch here, and then your battery slides out. It comes with a Reaction 2S 30C 350 milliamp LiPo battery. Taking a look at our transmitter, our on and off switch is going to be back here. You can see a red light indicator. You can reverse your steering channel, your throttle channel if you want. We're going to keep that as is, and you can also limit your throttle controls. You can set it to 50, 75, or 100%. Really like that. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys the different speed settings. And so at 100%, these definitely aren't designed for speed, but they have a little bit of speed to them. So this is our top speed, 100%. So you can see in a turn there's like a little driver's side tire kicks up. I believe that's called axle wrap or torque twist, maybe that's called. But yeah, since our suspension is so soft, when you throttle up, you're gonna get some like body twist. Now let's kick it into 50%, which is what I've been crawling in most of the time. I've been in 50%. So here we have 50% top speed. And How slow can we go? Yeah, so you can actually slow down pretty low. When you get a feature, it's gonna stall out if you don't add a little bit more throttle. Our throttle and our steering trim and our steering rate. So you can turn up your steering if you want or turn it down. Then we get our third channel control button here, which is going to be controlling your rear steering. Nice that you can reach the wheel for one-handed driving, has a little foam pad there. Really nice ergonomic design. Not too small, not too big, not too heavy. And we got our throttle here. Let's plug in our battery. Makes a little soft tone there, and you can see that our rock lights are now on. The body sort of seats in the channels here. All right, I think we're pretty good there. So I think we're ready to run this outside. Honestly, this is gonna be a great little indoor crawler as well, but the rain finally stopped in Santa Cruz, so exciting to actually get outdoors. So we're gonna test this out on a couple features. So to do our steering, you have 3 different modes. So if you go all the way up in A, you're going to get the crab. So it's gonna be able to sort of crab along your features. If you go 1 click down to B, you're going to get just front wheel steering. And if you click all the way down B, you're going to get the steering in opposite directions. Going to be a little bit of having to fiddle with and remember some of those options, but let's take it away. It is so nice to be outdoors, so sunny. I'm enjoying this a lot. So what do I think of the AX24 XC-1 from Axial? Once I found suitable terrain, the railing of my fence with some old axe heads, this thing was super fun to drive. It's actually really challenging. You have to remember and train your brain into what steer mode you're in. You could probably see my driving. I'm like, I'm in rear wheel steer, I'm in crab mode, I'm in front wheel steer. So it took me a little while to figure out, but that was the perfect little obstacle course to put this thing to the test. The suspension is a little soft. I might add a little grease to it. The ESC receiver is mounted up a little bit high, so that's going to increase your center of gravity, but honestly I don't even know where else you would fit it. So when I was crawling on some cinder blocks and stuff around the yard, if you get a little bit off camber, it's going to tip over. Things that are a little too steep, it might flip backwards. Definitely challenging to drive. I have to improve my driving skills. It's going to be very affordable for a lot of people. It's kind of like a Spider. The steering is so fast. I was impressed by the servos. Hopefully those hold out. It can navigate some really tight turns when I got to the corner of the fence. I think building a little course for this would be super fun. Doesn't take a lot. You don't have to have a ton of rocks to make a really cool course with this thing. So huge thank you to Axial for sending one of these out to test out on my channel. So fun. I never had the original AX10 Scorpion, so I'm glad I get a little scale replica to add to my RC fleet. What do you guys think of this thing? Are you into microcrawlers? Are you gonna get one? Did you have the original AX10? Shoot me a comment below. Would love to hear from you guys. I read all your comments. I try to respond to as many as possible. Have more videos coming. I'm trying to do at least one a week. So if you don't want to miss my next video, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you later.